Hey, hi. Thank you very much. So my problem is I have it's the same that many people have is when I'm on Visual Studio Code, I cannot. It says that the communication with the replica, there is an error, and I tried to several different ways, and I could not fix that.
All right, can you share your screen and show us the exact message you got?
Yes. Someone says same here. Okay, it's good that many people will benefit. Okay, so where can I share my screen?
You should have a button on the bottom, share screen.
There is chat, lower hand, and question and answer, but there is no share screen. Maybe you need to allow me to share my screen, or
Wait.
So I think the host of the meeting needs to enable the attendees to share the screen.
Yeah, do you know where it is?
Let me check once. Try right-clicking on LE on the right-hand side panel and see if it brings up that option.
Yeah, there is. There is nothing to like allow Ellie to share his screen.
Okay, so now I can because I'm a panelist. So it says it's disabled. So you have to go on the share screen, and then you can click on advanced setting or something, and then you can every participant can share.
Yeah. Okay. You should be able to share your screen now.
Yes. Okay, that's good. Okay, so that's. Can you see the error I get?
Yeah. So communication error. Okay. So I think you should restart your replica.
So I that's what I would like to do, and then
Hold on. Let's start. Hold on. Let's start from the beginning. So first thing that I notice is you're typing DFX call canister, right? So it has to be DFX canister call. The next thing that we see is, so once you fix that, second thing that we noticed is error happened during communication with the replica. So this is basically saying that there is no replica running. So
yes,
it was not able to send the message to the replica. Can you show us where your DFX start is running?
So should I this?
No. So hold on. Go back to your Visual Studio.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Start another terminal over here. You see that plus button, click on that and bash. Yeah. Okay. Now, inside this, there's a DFX JSON file, right? So you can just type DFX start and hit enter. DFX. No.
DFX start.
Okay. So now that the replica is running, now go back to the previous terminal.
So, and the fact that it's not going more than this, I saw in the open dev yesterday that many people have this problem. So it's not it's okay if there is nothing.
It's not a problem. So actually the thing to note over here is you see that line which says listening on HTTP 127.0.0.1.8000.
Yes.
So that basically means your replica server is running on that IP address port combination. Basically, localhost 8000 is where your replica is running. Now you need to come over here and now you can try running DFX command so that your project canister can basically talk to the replica. Right. So now you're getting this answer.
Okay, very good. So that was easy because I thought that I had to do it in this terminal, but actually I can do it in here. It doesn't matter. No, I have to do.
So it doesn't. like it doesn't matter which terminal you do it on. So all of these terminals are basically a way for you to communicate with your bash system. And the bash system is sort of like, it's the command line running on your Ubuntu instance. So depending on which file path you're under and what files are available inside that path, be it like the DFX JSON and things, if those are present, then you can run that DFX start. And essentially, whether you run it from that terminal or from VS Code, it is basically talking to the same Ubuntu instance.
Okay. And
so you could have done it from there also.
Okay. And if I want, for example, I try to deploy and to do it many times, and I don't know when there is something that is active or not. How can I check if there is a replica that is running? How can I remove one, or is it important to know?
So the question is, how do you know DFX replica is running or not?
Yes, because so this local replica, once I closed all the tabs, it's not running anymore, right?
Right. So ideally, the best way to check it would be using Linux command line tool. So there's something called PS, which lists all the processes running, and using that you can check. Basically, if you type, PS, P for Poland, space AUX space, and then the pipe symbol.
So say it again. The pipe
symbol is the one below backspace button on your keyboard.
Oh, well, backspace. No, sorry, I don't. Seb, can you say it in French? What's la touche qui veut que je tape? C'est quoi?
C'est une barre verticale.
You can check the chat. Somebody has posted what.
No, c'est pas. It's not this one. So this one.
And then space grep. Hold on. No.
Sorry.
Press Control C. That will stop your current command. No, just press Control C. Okay. So we'll type PS AUX space pipe symbol space, and then we are using another command called grep, GREP. EP, E for elephant, GREP space DFX. So basically what this is doing is, you're listing all the processes currently running on your Linux system, and then piping that out into another program called grep. And grep basically lets you do text search. So we are specifically looking for the term DFX in the list of programs running on your Linux system. So if you hit enter, this will bring up if there are any DFX running. So if you notice, there's this thing called DFX start that is running, the second process. So it has found 4 processes. Out of those 4, the second one is what you're looking for. DFX start is running. So ideally, you can run something called DFX stop, or you can even forcibly close it.
Okay.
But ideally,
yes.
Right. So this is like the way of getting to know from the Unix part of things. Like if you wanted to know whether your OS is actually running it, you would do it through your OS commands basically. The other way to do it is simply run anything related to DFX, like DFX canister call or something. And if you get this kind of an error, that it says there is an error during communication with the replica, you know that it is not running.
Yeah, there is also, if you just type DFX start and you already have one instance of DFX that is running, it will say address in use. So it means you already have a replica somewhere running.
So if I do it now, I will see that there is...
Exactly.
Okay.
You need to go on the right. Okay, so here you are not inside a project, so you cannot do it. DFX needs a configuration file, which is dfx.json, and this file is located. It needs to be located like a. So exactly. You see right now you are like in a specific folder.
So now I can do it.
Now it should work. Yes. And there is a latest, there is also another way to check. If you click on if you go back to the FX, on VS Code, I mean, you have bash.
So now
and
it's
FX.
already running because it's running on VS Code, right?
Yeah, but what he was trying to explain is that the terminal is always the terminal, whether you, it doesn't matter if it's the terminal in VS Code, if it's the terminal in a new window. Every terminal is just a way to talk to your computer. So if the FX is running somewhere, it doesn't matter. Like, it's running on your computer, so it doesn't matter if you are on VS Code or on another terminal. You know, it's the same.
Okay, I was confused because with this we had to start another window of the terminal, so that's why I was confused. But okay, now I get it. Okay.
Yeah. You have to start a new window because the window is already being taken by the FX, so you cannot write new comments. But it's the same. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just a way to talk to your computer. So if you go to the FX, on the right, if you go to the replica, there is the address where the replica is running. It's so yeah, it's this one. If you click here, you should see something, if I remember right.
Yes.
Yeah, you have this message.
I think I can find the, if I can find the canister. Where can I find the canister? Because I did it yesterday and it was working. I did this.
Yeah.
But I had to find this canister somewhere.
Yeah, you have to add the canister ID. Sure.
And
if you go back to your browser where you have that open, you just click that link and it opened it. Close this. Go back to the other tab that you had just opened. Right. So what this is doing is this: your browser is essentially hitting this address, and at this address your replica is running, but your replica doesn't have any default web page to serve to the browser. So it is just sending that message saying could not find the canister ID to forward to. Now, if you so at the end of the address, if you just type out, so at the end of 8000, yeah, / question mark canister ID. I is capital, everything else is small. Equal to, and now go back. Hold on. No. Now go back to your VS Code and expand the .dfx folder on the left hand side. No, in your file explorer, there's a .dfx, right? On the left hand side, left top.
Yeah.
Now expand the local. Go into canister_ids.json, open that. So this is listing all the canisters that are currently part of this project and have been deployed to your local replica. So if you see, it says Candid UI, day one and day one assets, and all of them have the corresponding key of local. So basically locally, these are the canister IDs. So if you visit the day one assets, copy that part, RY, JL3, that entire part.
So
this is basically your canister ID.
Day one and day one asset, is it front end and back end, or is it something completely different?
That's right. So day one assets basically contain your front end assets, and day one part consists of your back end canister. So this is mapped in your DFX JSON. If you open your DFX JSON, you can see that also. There's an extra 2 at the beginning. Remove that 2. Yeah. No, not there. This one. Yeah. Hit enter.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. That was the basic I was missing. Thank you very much.
All right. So. All right. Lopez M, you can talk.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm having an issue. I'm doing the challenge of remove elements from array. And maybe I'm trying to experiment a little bit with the base library. So I'm trying to use a list type, and I'm getting an error, which is unbound type list, but I'm importing the library. So yeah, I don't know what's wrong.
Do you want to share your screen and show us what you've done till now?
Yeah, let me do that.
Right, I need to shift you to a panelist so you can share a screen. Let me do that. All right, you should be able to share your screen now.
The start video, or 1 second.
No,
Which...
share screen. It's just right to discussion.
You should see a green button called share screen.
No, I don't see anything. Ah, share screen. Okay, sorry, I'm blind.
No worries.
I'll have to reset because of the security configuration. Sorry, it is being so cumbersome.
Oh, you have to. Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, some people on I think it's usually on Mac. They need to allow Zoom to share the screen, but they can only do that if they restart Zoom.
Should we ask some, like, move forward with somebody else's query?
Yeah, let's try. Okay, he's back. Okay. Well. Yeah. Your panelist again, so you can share your screen. All right, we can see your screen now. I think you're muted.
Okay. Can you see this screen?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on the code right now, so I'm trying to, this function, right? Remove from array. So I try to create a list. And to create an empty list, I use this, which was the easiest way I found. And then, you know, I just append values and then finally transform to an array. But I'm getting an unbound type list on this line, on the declaration, on the type declaration. And up here, I'm importing the library.
Right. So the problem over here is basically you need to specify the type as list.list, because essentially what you're importing over here is the module list. So if you actually open, maybe like if you can just open Definity, github.com/Definity, it will be easier to.
Yes.
So if you, yeah, and this will have a like something called Motoko base, yeah, base library. Open that. Go to SRC. Come down. So essentially, what you're, so this is a list of all the imports that you're basically doing. So we are looking for list over here. So this is the actual source code of the module that you're importing. So if you notice over here, basically when you do import list, it imports this module. However, inside the module, you have the type, which is list again, and you also have functions. So essentially things like push, is nil and such. So when you're specifying the type over here, go back to your code. So in your code, when you say of type list, you actually have this list is referring to the module. So what you have to say is list.list.
Okay. So
See if that
I
error
don't,
goes away. Okay, now we are seeing a different error.
okay. Okay. I guess this must be
no, in other cases, so it depends. Basically, now the error that we are seeing is expected object type, expression produces type, so and so. So there's a type mismatch. What I would suggest is, since it's much more difficult to do like debug this as part of a project, what I would suggest is use something like the Motoko playground to sort of take just this small example into a contrived example and then try to solve it, because that way it might be easier. Over time, you will get better at debugging this, and then you can do it as part of your project. That is one suggestion I have.
okay.
The other thing, looking over here, is it specifically says that on line 54.29, it is having this error. Basically, that's saying it expected a type of object, but the type that it got was a optional nat comma list.
Okay. And one last thing. So I think we can totally do it by using a list, then like creating a list from an array, and then moving the list to an array at the end as well. But you can do it without the list module, just with array, everything in the array module. You can do it without like list, and it will probably make your life easier. But you can also stay with this method. It would work, I think.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I just read that the appending array was deprecated, so I was just trying to.
Yeah. So concerning array that happened, basically every time you use this method, so an array is of fixed size. So you need to, if you want to append something, you need to create a new array and basically copy all the values and add the new value. So it's taking a lot of time. That's why they say it's depreciated. But if you do it for really small values and just for like dumb example like that, it's not really a concern. Like I think the depreciated is a bit strong from the foundation, but I mean, like if you have an array like of 10,000 value, even more, yeah, don't do it for sure. But
yeah,
just an example like that, it's okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Hey, hey, this is Austin here. That next error that you're seeing there, and this is an important thing. When you call these functions from these libraries, it's really annoying. It's one thing I don't like about Motoko, but you have to put the type in all of your function calls in the angled brackets. So when you call, what are you calling there? When you call list from array, when you call from array, you actually have to put the type of your array in angled brackets after the call to from array. That function needs to know what type the array is. Even though it's empty, you need to put, in this case, I guess it's a nat. So you need to put nat inside of angled brackets there.
Okay.
Right after from array.
Like this, you mean?
No. After from array, you put it in angled brackets.
Okay.
Yeah, nat.
Okay.
And then you'll have to do the same thing down there when you do append. You have to tell it that you're appending a nat in angled brackets as well.
Okay.
It's Motoko is very, very picky about that.
At least it has its types straight. But yeah, I agree. Thank you very much for sharing that. I'll stop sharing now.
Seb, do you want to?
Yeah. Sorry. King, you can explain your issue. You can talk.
I'll just add one more thing. If you're finding arrays frustrating and the deprecation stuff, like, and this is probably more an advanced concept, but if you look at the buffer library is a lot better and a lot faster at constructing lists of things like arrays. That's just a tip for down the road.
Yeah, actually, for the challenges and the daily guide, so this is day one, so I didn't introduce buffers, but you will see, like, I think it's day 5, I had planned to talk about buffer and how it's way better than array.
Yeah, it's probably not good to look at it now, just to give people hope and not let them despair. The array library is a great example, but it's great for examples, but it's leaves some things to be desired.
Right. Yeah, we can hear you.
So I'm beginning now with the first problem, and yesterday no, in the day before, I made the new project, the Hello project, following the guides, but without any major concern, and it all functioned well, except a little bit that I managed to arrange. Now I'm trying to do basically the same for the first problem of the day, that basic problem of summing two natural numbers. And I can't, I'm stuck here. I cannot even begin, because when I type dfx new, it's okay. But then when I try to deploy or something else, it gives an error, and I don't know what it is.
So can you show us your error? The message you got? So the message you got is when you try to deploy, right?
Yes. How can I share my screen?
Yeah, let me just remove you at panelist. All right. You can share your screen. Just a dumb question. Did you do dfx start?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So do you see? Do you see this? Do you see the screen? Yeah. This is the first project, a dummy project that it was working well. So now it's deployed. If I make dfs start,
Okay.
it's okay.
Yep.
Okay, and it's functioning.
So try deploying now. So now that your replica has started, try deploying now. What was the error that you were seeing?
No, this is already deployed, but locally.
That's okay. You can deploy multiple times, right? You can deploy the same code over again, and it will just upgrade or replace depending on what parameters you pass.
If I deploy in the internet computer, if I deploy another module, where does it go? Because that was one question. When one deploy on the first deploy, it spent too much cycles, and if I deploy second, I will need to spend cycles, or how is that?
So hold on. Okay. So the first thing is the DFX start over here does something called, it starts the replica. Basically, a replica is like, it sort of simulates multiple nodes running the internet computer software. So ideally, the main internet computer, the thing that we call the mainnet, that also runs similar software, but to be able to run your canisters over there, you have to pay with cycles. However, this particular replica that you just started by typing DFX start, this just started a local replica, which means it is running inside your computer.
In local replica, I don't need cycles, but if I put it in the network, in the IC, I need cycles, right?
Right. But for the current exercise that you are doing, you don't need to deploy them to the mainnet, right?
I don't. It's just locally.
That's right. So basically, once you deploy, you make some changes to your code and you do DFX deploy, it is deploying to your local replica. So essentially, you don't need any cycles. Everything is running locally on your computer.
And so, how do you see when we report? How do you see? Do you see in GitHub?
So after you're done making changes to your code, you can push that up to GitHub, and that is where all your code is living. The entire history of all the changes that you made to your code, that is where it will live. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going directly to the project. To the project that I was trying to do and not being able to. Day one challenge and add. The first one, this add. So if I must start before I deploy, right?
So the network replica needs to be running for any DFX command to interact with your local replica. So when you type out DFX something, it is basically talking to your local replica. But if you specify the network as IC, then it will talk to the mainnet. Otherwise, it will always talk to your local replica.
Okay.
So for any operation that you do locally, your network replica needs to be running.
I don't know this either. Sometimes code to see here in Visual Basic Code, when I type code dot, it functions well. Sometimes it gives this error, sometimes it gives another error, and I must restart the computer, and when I restart the computer, it works well. But I don't know why it loses the configuration or the path or something like that.
This might be specific to your device. Can you try closing this window and reopening the terminal?
Yeah, I think this question is not really like internet computer related, and I think if you try to search on Google, there will probably be someone with the same issue. It's probably related to your machine.
Okay, but when it was just to show the code. So now I can DFX start, right?
Yes.
It is okay. And now DFX deploy, right?
Right. Yeah, the FX deploy will deploy on the local replica. You don't You can do it with the terminal like that, opening new windows and everything. But I would advise to just put Visual Studio in full screen and use the terminal inside VS Code. It's way more convenient for
this one.
Yeah, and
So
you can open multiple terminals on the top right corner of the terminal window that you are inside right now. There is a plus button. Yeah, here. And you can open as much terminal as you want.
Okay.
You can have one for the replica and the other for all the commands you want to pass.
Okay.
And so you don't need to move between windows and everything because it's way
Thank
more.
you. So DFX deploy. Correct?
Yeah.
And now I pick up the canister, the add assets here, and I check here. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's working. So and when I can pick, for instance, this this module, this text for a base to change it to the add command, right?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
I have the, what is the code? The code. So this is the code for this canister, right?
This is the code for the backend canister. So yes, when you are, so you have the front end where you have like the Definity logo, and this front end talk to the backend canister, which is this one. And when you click on the button, it returns the hello with your name. So
okay, if I want to build the add function starting with this code, I can public function add, then number one as not, number two
okay.
as not.
You're talking about the challenges. I'm going to make probably after this meeting a recording of myself doing the first challenges to explain like how to create the file and everything, because actually for the challenges you don't need to include the front end. It's just one file that you need to complete, but I'm going to make a video and it will be very clear.
Okay, we don't need to include the front end, just the back end.
No, because here you have a full project. I'm just looking for one Motoko file with the challenges, but I will make a video about that just after that.
Okay, so you show us how to test and everything.
Yeah, I will show you how to test it as well.
Okay, and you put in the Discord.
Yeah,
we'll put in the Discord. Okay, so thank you very much. It's I think it's the more difficult part is kick starting. Beginning with this.
Yeah, I will make this video just after this call.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Crypto Kaiju.
Hi, I'm not really hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm not really sure if there's a point of going over this, considering what you just said of you doing a video of all the challenges, and I also know there's a video that was filmed, a recording from yesterday where arrays were covered, but I'm stuck on number 7. I've tried to look through documentation and stuff to try and figure out how to make and set up an array, but I'm struggling a bit. I know there's a video from yesterday that is supposed to explain it, and also but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, and I know you're gonna also create another video today, but I wondered if you could. The issue I have at the moment is when I'm trying to import the array the base array module or whatever it's called, I'm just getting errors. I can't share my screen unfortunately either because the machine I'm connected to the Zoom on is not the same as my Linux box that I work from, so I can't switch over to that. But I wondered if you could just quickly show me like how to correctly import the arrays.
Yeah. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so I am inside the project. Okay, let's remove that. Inside the Motoko file. Can you all see my screen right now?
Yeah.
Maybe I could zoom a bit. All right, so I don't remember what is the challenge 7. Let me check. So challenge number 7, it's write a function sum of array that takes an array of natural numbers and returns the sum. This function will return 0 if the array is empty. Okay, so let's remove all of this. We just have our actor and we want to make that a public function. So let's do public function sum of array. So the parameter, the argument, sorry, is an array of natural number. So let's call it array like that. And it will return the sum. So the sum is probably going to be a positive natural number, so a nat. Okay, is it clear right now? Okay, so we want the sum of the array. Yeah, okay, so there are different ways to do it. So basically what we want to do is take all the value inside the array and add them. The first thing is that if the array is empty, we should return 0. So we can test this condition. If array, I mean, it's not really, okay, let's do it. If array.size is equal to 0, then we just return 0. Okay, is it clear here?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So here we are checking the size of the array, and if it's equal to 0, then we return 0, and we exit the function. If it's not, then what we need to do, so I think this challenge is basically coming just after an explanation of how to iterate through all the values in the array. So actually in the guide, I'm explaining that you can use a for loop to go through all the values inside the array. So what you can do is for value in array.vals like that. So this loop will go over all the values inside the array. So let's imagine you have like a example of type array of nat. It's for example 1, 5, and 8. So this function will go this loop, sorry, will go over all the values. So it will go to 1, then 5, then 8. So value here will be first time 1, second time 5, second time 8. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, so now we can access all the values inside the array. So we just need to create a counter that we can, of type nat, that we can increase starting from 0. And for every value in the array, we will increase the counter by value. That way, we can get the sum, and then we return the counter once the loop is over. Okay?
Okay.
So let me deploy that.
Do you have to put the import thing at the top, or have you already done that?
I didn't use the array module, actually.
Oh, okay. So you don't need to use that.
You could do it with the array module for sure. There are several ways to do it, I would say. You have method inside the array module to do it, but you don't really need it, like for this challenge.
Could you would you mind doing basically something similar to what you've just shown, but instead of with numbers, could you do it with a list of text values? So like maybe a list of fruits, for example, and the list contains apple, orange,
okay.
banana.
So let me just test my function. So I've deployed my canister. It's called boot. So I want to call sum of array. So the syntax you need to respect is a bit, it's not really like, it's not really cool, I think, but it's the counted syntax. So you need to do something like that. So we want the result to be 9. Let's check. Yeah, 10. It seems to work. Okay, so now let's say we want sum of array, but for text value. So I'm going to create a new function like this one. It's taking an array of text, and it's returning, let's say, the text. So that's what you want me to do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So let's copy and paste the code, and just that's not something you should do, like copy and paste code, but for this example, it's okay. So I'm going to initiate a counter, but instead of 0, I want the counter to be this, which is like the empty text. It's like the 0, but for a text value, I mean. And then instead of adding, I want to concatenate. So is this clear for you? Like the value of this?
Yeah, but this is like an empty array, right? So what kind of text values would it put in there? I'm more interested in how do I declare or create an array with a list of values that I already pick. So I want to have a pre-created array that has a list of fruits, and I've already declared what all the fruits are in that list.
Okay, so that's how you declare like an array of natural number, and that's how you would declare an array of text. So let's say apple.
Okay. Cool,
Banana,
I see.
So on. So like that.
Yeah.
So actually, like the sum of array of type text doesn't really make sense, because like I mean, you cannot add
text.
Text. You can concatenate text. So what I'm trying to do here is trying to, that's why I've replaced counter by phrase. I'm trying to add all the word inside the array, so I can create a phrase. And so if I try to deploy that, so yeah, let me just remove that as well. So if I call this function sum of array text, and then I pass values of type text. So for example, hello, my name is, then it returns the phrase that concatenates all the individual piece of text. We don't have any space because
how do you fix that so it does the spaces?
so you can do it like maybe like that, like you add a space here, or you can also like just add a new value inside the array, which is like pure space, you know, like that.
Okay. Thanks. That's very helpful. Do you mind just scrolling up so I can see the code again?
Yeah, let me just fix that.
Entirety.
All right. So that's how you would do it for text and for NAT.
Great. Let me just get I just want to take a picture of that.
Okay. Do we have any question on that from the chat? Let me check if someone is like wondering. All right. Wenzel, is asking, can you go back to the sum of array when you are done with the text? So yeah, that's the sum of array. Do you have any question on it?
No, I don't have any further questions. Thanks a lot for showing me that.
All right. Let's move to the next question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
I have a question about can I create a array with a fixed number?
Can you create array with? Can you repeat the question?
Like you create an array with with its length, like C and C++ or something else. Let me write it.
Yeah. I don't know if the other mentors. I really hear you very, very bad.
I was not also able to understand the question. Maybe you can repeat the question again.
I just shared the example in the chat. Can you take it?
All right. So yeah, you're trying to create a variable that is an array. Yeah, you can do it. So yeah, you can. Oh, okay, with length. Okay, with length 10. So you want an array. So we're trying to create an array which has a specific length of 10. So with 10 values. So indeed, you could do it like really manually, I would say, with all the values. You just copy and paste that, and you go to 10 value, you know, and so on and so on and so on. But there is something, and it's in the array module. So let me show you the array module. So it's in the base library. Here, go inside array. There is something called init, I think. Yeah. So this function init from the array module, you can use it like that. So I need to import the module array. And then I can do something like let array of type not equal array dot init. So array module init function. And the init function is this one. You need to specify the type of the value inside the array. So instead of the generic type that is here, you need to specify, for example, nat. And then you need to specify the size. So you want 10. And then you need to specify the value you want. Like, yeah, it will be like a copy of like the same value. So like that. And basically what you're going to get is an array like this one, 0, 0, 0, 0. I don't know if I have 10 or more, but you got it. It's like that. I think that answers your question. I hope.
Yeah.
All right. But there is no, I don't think, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think there is something in the Motoko syntax to do that without importing the array module. I don't think that's possible to, you know, I know in some, like I think in Python, you can do something like that. I don't remember, but I think you can do something like that, which doesn't make any sense in Motoko. You need the array library. All right. So is there any question? No, sorry guys, I've lost the I've lost the participants. Where is it? Okay. All right, Abraham.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, I've actually been having issues with the array stuff, and actually opened a Discord. I mean, a GitHub issue regarding to it is because of the accessing of the as in calling the array method from the terminal. So you're trying to use the DFX, canister call, and the rest of them. So I was having these issues, but I just saw your screen right now, and I decided to, and I observed what the challenge was. So it's like I was running an older version of the Definity SDK. So I was running 0.84. But I just upgraded to 0.9 something, and the whole thing worked perfectly. So not really a question. So just want to clear it out.
Okay,
if you get my point.
So I think I've seen your topic on GitHub. You had an issue with the replica. That's right.
No. I have issue with unable to call canister, unable to call array function in DFS canister.
Oh yeah, I remember. So, yeah.
So I went back and did that on Mac because I didn't feel satisfied. But after watching your video, I realized that the problem I was experiencing is actually from the version of my SDK. So I just upgraded it now, and everything works perfectly.
Okay,
I've
nice.
been stuck here since last night. Yeah, but I'm okay now. I'm okay now.
So you don't have any question?
Yeah, not really. I don't have, but I just want to say so that anybody that's having the same issue can actually know.
Okay. So
thank you so much.
Yeah, no worry. But okay, let's if someone has a question, we still have 2 minutes, so maybe one last question. Yeah. So, oh, sorry, Crypto Kaiju. Wait, can you raise your hand again? I've just lower your hand. Okay, so I think you can.
Hello. I unmuted myself, then you muted me. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess one thing I'm struggling with a bit is what you showed me with those arrays. Can you kind of explain a bit why in some of these examples you can just literally just create the array like directly, but then you said sometimes you've got to import the module. Like why is it that you can just make an array like that and sometimes you have to import it?
Oh, okay, so someone asked me, like, is there a better way to create an array than doing it manually like that, where you have to specify all the values and everything? Let's say you want an array with, I don't know, 100 values, and all the values are 1. So that would be something like, like that. 100 times. So I hope you understand that it's like horrible to just do that. So actually, for those kinds of like requests, instead of having to type all the array manually, you can use this function. It's called init, and it's going to create so it's going to create an array of size whatever. So you can put size 100, 1000, whatever you want, with the same value. So with 1 or 2, and it's going to create an array for you like that. So array.init. You need to specify the actual type inside the array. So is it an array of text? Is it an array of nat? Is it an array of int? So let's say it's an array of nat. You want 100 values and you want the values to be 1. And that's it. You have an array. So let me actually show you. Maybe I can keep that. So I just want to show you like the what does example looks like. So I will return the array. Oh yeah. So yeah. So I wanted to avoid this subject today because it's a subject that is that will be like in the future lecture, I think tomorrow or the day after, and also the daily guide is going to talk about it. But you have mutable and immutable arrays as well. You know, like with variables, you have like the variable that you can change, not change, like this one. And you have the mutable like this one, where you can change the value. For the array, it's the same. The values inside can be mutable or immutable. If you want something to be immutable, you need to specify it like that. Mutable, sorry. So this array is actually mutable. So yeah, that's like the function that is doing that. It's returning an array that is mutable.
Right. So just to answer the question that he was asking, basically the reason we need to import in some cases is when you need extra functionality, which is provided by the library, you need to import that. So in this case, this array.init is a function that is available as part of the base library array implementation. So that function, when you need to use, you will have to import it. Otherwise, you don't need to.
Yeah,
there are more functions available in the base library. So again, when you need to use them, then you need to import.
Yeah, I'm probably adding more complexity right now, talking about immutable arrays and everything. But yeah, just show you like what I'm doing with this example. It's a really big array. Yeah, like that. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And it's really painful if you want to do it like manually. So you have functions to do that. And also using a function with a parameter means that if you have like, you can create basically during your code, you can create like array of different size, depending on, I don't know, maybe instead of having 100 here, I have a variable. So I can create 100, then 2000, then, and so on. Yeah. But the two ways are serving like different purpose.
All right. Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right. So I think we are good. It's maybe time to wrap things and just wish you good luck with the challenges.
And if you have additional questions, please post in the GitHub discussions.
Yeah. So just thank you for saying that. Just a reminder, I've noticed a lot of people just like posting their question on Discord. Please post on the GitHub discussion. It's more convenient for mentors to answer, and it's also a way for you to check if the question has not already been answered. You know, the mentors have limited availability, so try to be respectful and do not ask the same question like thousands of times. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.